Hello, President Bush. I noticed today that the media reported that the GDP has increased to 1.7%. Isn't that great?
It curls my hair when the press spins economic news. And I don't have any hair to curl. Yes, it is true that the GDP reported a growth of 1.7% for the second quarter of 2010, which is in fact on the positive side of center line. However, the graph, obtained from the U.S. Department of Commerce Bureau of Economic Analysis, found at www.beaa.gov, clearly demonstrates that the U.S. economy, as defined by GDP, is trending down. You make up your own mind about where you think the next trend indicator will land for the third and fourth quarters of 2010.
So, when will this economy get better?
It is my belief that not until three major pressures are taken out of the equation will the U.S. economy truly begin to make a meaningful recovery. Those three major pressures are job creations, meaningful foreclosure prevention, and finally, a mechanism to repair and address the extraordinary negative equity in residential real estate. According to PR Newswire at prnewswire.com, Seattle, August 9th, real estate values continue to fall, reporting that nationally, homeowners are suffering with an average of 21% value decline since the beginning of the economic crisis we are digging out of.
President Bush, I live in the Phoenix metro area. Can you tell me if my area has been hit hard by this economic mess? What are the statistics for homes in my area?
The Phoenix area has suffered with as much as 66.8% negative equity decline, and Tucson, Arizona has been pummeled with up to 41% negative equity. Other hard-hit areas report more dramatic negative equity conditions. Areas such as Bakersfield, California at 44.6% negative equity, El Centro, California at 57.5% negative equity, Fresno, California at 38.5% negative equity, Sacramento, California at 58.1% negative equity, Las Vegas, Nevada at 73.9% negative equity, Reno, Nevada at 61.9% negative equity, and the list goes on and on and on. For example, Port St. Lucie, Florida at 55% negative equity, Sarasota, Florida at 45.1% negative equity, Tampa, Florida at 45.3% negative equity, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida at 44% negative equity, Ann Arbor, Michigan at 33% negative equity, and Detroit, Michigan at 31.4% negative equity. It is truly very sad.
How in the world can this get fixed? Is there any hope?
Hillary, the bottom line is this. The private sector must be given the tools to create jobs, and the banking and mortgage industry must come up with a way to resolve the foreclosure issue and negative equity in residential real estate.
Based on the statistics you have researched, I won't be able to sell my home for years, perhaps decades. That is simply not fair. I have played by all the rules. I have not overextended myself, and yet, I am going to be forced to live in my home after my children are grown with no way to sell my home and pay off my mortgage. I am not made of money, and will never have enough money to pay the difference of what is owed on my mortgage and what I will be able to sell my home for. This is simply not right. I am boiling mad.
You are absolutely correct. Currently, there is no exit strategy available to any homeowner who is suffering with negative equity. In over one half of the country, homeowners who are suffering with negative equity, as you are, have no way to sell their home in the next 10 to 20 years. Longer in some areas of the country. Does the current Congress and administration truly feel that it is appropriate to allow this financial injustice to be suffered upon homeowners who have played by the rules?
I don't know, but it certainly seems that way.
Is it appropriate that the economic meltdown, caused primarily by the failure of the subprime mortgage industry and major players on Wall Street, should strap a homeowner to his home for the next decade, 2 decades, or, in some areas of the country, as much as 3 decades?
No. Absolutely not. I am really getting pissed.
Hillary, does it make sense to you that some form of exit strategy for a homeowner should be devised so today's homeowner can sell his home, whether moving up, moving down, or relocating? Does it seem just to you that homeowners who have done nothing wrong, played by all the rules, acted responsible with their finances, should not be provided a mechanism to exit their home without being required to write a check to their lien holder to cover the negative equity?
Yes. We need help. Our property values have been beaten to the ground. We have been punished by Wall Street and our current congressional leaders. I say punished because it is what it feels like. The entire country is suffering because of the irresponsible behavior of our lawmakers who allowed the subprime mess to get to the point that it did. Punished because the fat cats on Wall Street had the run of the chicken coop, like a fox in a hen house. And, now, I am stuck in my house. I purchased my home in 2005 for $235,000. I have a fixed-rate mortgage, but today my house is only worth $80,000. It will take me 20 to 30 years to get to a point where the mortgage balance is equal to what I will be able to sell it for. That is simply not right.
If you agree that it is every citizen's responsibility to force our opinions, experiences, and views upon our elected lawmakers, and we hope you do, then we suggest that you take the time to write your congressman or congresswoman and senator. While I'm not fond of how Washington has been run over the past decade and a one-half, I still have to believe that there are still some good and honest folks on Capitol Hill. There has to be. The entire Congress can't possibly be corrupt, can they? I truly hope not, for all our sakes.
I am going to write my Congressman and Senator McCain this evening. I am going to make as much noise as possible to make this problem evident to everyone who will listen. Oh, I'm not naive. I am fully aware that Congress and President Obama know that this problem exists. I only hope that President Obama listens to the American people. We need help. We need help with our mortgages and we need jobs. President Obama, if you're listening to this video, get a grip. You said you would not let Washington run like it had for the past decade, but that is not what you have done. You continue to allow special interests run Congress and run you. You had better figure out how to fix this economy and how to fix the negative equity in residential real estate, or you can kiss your second term goodbye.